Tech here. So today I'm gonna show you how to install a DINS connector. Alright, like that. So that goes all the way. Try to do that on camera. So that goes all the way to the back there, and on the back there you have that guy. So basically you just go like a little bit further, and we have your DINS in there, so you know that's not really a problem. So it looks like that. They are pretty much the same length. So I'm just gonna cut those guys right there. And that's it. We are done 4 wires. As you can see, one is longer than the other. That's really normal because in the pistol grip you have a longer wire than the other. So, and that guy goes from there to there. So you have those wires, you will run out of red before run out of black. That's just how it is. But you know. Close that up. Okay. So now it's done. I'm gonna plug it back. They are pretty much spot on the same length, so that's good. So now we do basically the same thing, you know, but we're gonna put it on DINS. So that can be set by, I think that was on Amazon. I think yeah, on Amazon, and that was 10. You have 10 pairs of T-plug, male, female, with each string included. So that's pretty good. Sometimes the blue string are not the best, but and I'm getting, you know, the male and the female, and I put them together like so. And why I'm doing that? That's pretty simple, because when you hit those guys with, I know that's not but when you hit those guys, you know, it transfers the heat to the other side. So it's you have a less chance of, you know, deforming all that or whatever. So basically, you know, transfer the heat. So that's pretty good. And if you want to know the orientation, normally you have a plus and minus on there. Yeah, so you have plus and minus on there. So you know, but if you want, you can check with your battery. Don't plug those in there. That's gonna sport you. You know, so just check. You know, the flat goes where, and you know, but don't put those in there. You will electrocute yourself. So that's done. So you can see the length you need, you know, like not that long. So again, use those guys. We want that like that. Want it that way. I might just remove a little bit more of those silicone. just a little bit more, like that. So the first thing you want to do is to prep your wire and prep your D. So what it means is you just put, you know, like a tiny amount of soldering in one and soldering in the other. That's called thin your wires. Those wires are pretty thin, but I'm gonna do it anyway because, you know, that's stick together way easier, you know. So now it's time to put those guys. Like I said, you want to do we call that pre-tin. So, you know, you just put a little layer of solder in there and in your wire. But first thing first, that's really important to not forget that, because otherwise you're fucked. Let's put your heat shrink. So don't forget that, otherwise, you know, they all solder together and you have to undo and redo everything because you don't have your heat shrink in place. And not gonna lie, happened to me. So yeah, don't forget that. So after that, you have to spot the plus and minus, and there's a trick for that, of course. I'm gonna grab my wires. So if you look at them, you know, whatever side, it doesn't matter. One gives a minus and one is, you know, like that. So that's the plus, and the minus is always minus. Minus is always black. That's negative. So that's pretty much it. So now I'm gonna just do a small layer on that guy right there. You know, just pick just a drop of soldering paste in there. Try to get stable on something. And just put a drop in there. You clean your guy because you don't want anything dirty. That add resistance if you have dirty solders. So yeah, as you can see, I just put a little drop on there. So that's already on there. So when I put the wire on top and I start to put the heat on it, it's just gonna melt and stick to hopefully stick to that guy right there, and that's what we want. So now I'm switching it, do the same thing on that side. That. And try to not breathe that fume because that's not the best for your lungs. So now the connector is prep, it's thin. So as you can see. So now we do the same for the wires. So you put a little drop on there. Make sure all your wires are nice together, not, you know, like that, and otherwise it would give you, you know, like a super big end of wires, and that's not the best. So again, just a small drop. Like that. that guy is ready. Not the red one. After that, we just have to put them together. At that point, when you are about to put them together, just recheck, make sure your heat shrink out there. No, that's just a step. I know we did it, but you know, that's a good thing to check before putting them together. Okay, my training, I have everything. Because again, when you forget them, that sucks. And it happened to me before. I was like, cool. So that's done, you know. Okay, so that's a perfect tin right there. That's beautiful. No, we just have to put those guys together. You know, that's nothing complicated. That's super simple. But first, couple of times you're doing it, you'll you know, might find that a little bit awkward, but you know, you get used to it, and you know, at a certain point, you know, that's not a big deal anymore. So yeah. So what you want to do now is put that guy on top. You already get a drop on your iron, and then you put your wires on top of that drop, and then you just put them together, and they just gonna melt and do like you want your wires to touch the bottom of the connector, and just have, you know, like a little you know, like a soldering dome around it, just to make sure it stays in place. But don't put too much, that add resistance, but put enough. So yeah, it is what it is, you know. That's how it is. So now make sure your guy is at maximum heat. Then I put it in high heat because it takes a lot of heat to melt something when you have a wire between, you know. So you need a lot of heat to transfer the heat and to everything to melt together. Otherwise, you know, if you don't have that possibility, you can try to melt that guy and then put your wires on top, and then just switch like super fast, and that might be good too. That's not the best, but that works. So what you do, you put a good amount of soldering paste in there, you get, you know, secure in place, all that, and now it's going fast. So you put that in there, you grab your wires, and you put them together until they melt. So everything now is melting together. My wires are touching that guy right there. And now it's done. So it's not that hard, but you know, and if you want, yeah, I can try to redo something. I'm gonna show you. If it doesn't work with the bottom of your guys, you can try to get more surface on there, but without touching the other stud the other way. I'm just gonna do it to show you guys. So you get that in there like that, and you know, just put more area of your soldering iron in there, and that's it. sometimes it's your tip is not hot enough if you don't have the control over it, so you get more surface, the bigger, right? Because the more you go that way, the more hot it is, so your tip can be colder than that part right there. So you can go with that part without, just try to align without touching the other tabs, and sometimes that works better. Ooh. I just burned myself a little bit on that egg. Don't wear shorts. So that's in base, super solid. That's not super straight, but that's not that bad too. So I'm okay with it. So now we do the same for that guy on top right there. Boom, boom. And my drop is a little smaller on there, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more solder in there, just a little bit more, you know, so I have a little drop on there, so it's gonna work better, it's gonna be easier. Clean it. It's gonna wait like 10 seconds for it to heat up, and yeah, so if you have a little bit more material in there, you probably don't need to grab something and then you just have to put them together and they're gonna melt, and that's probably gonna be good to go that way. Put a little bit of flux in there. Just try to melt them together. Again, I'm gonna use the wider part of that guy, and on the positive side you don't have anything to catch on, so it's not hot enough right now. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna clean a little bit on there too. No, I burned my working mat. That's a disaster. So yeah, once it's done, you just have to put your heat shrink and you're good to go, you know. So that's pretty good. That should be better. That's good to go. Can close that. Let it cool down a little bit. I'm gonna plug my heat gun. That's not too bad. Yeah, that looks pretty good, not gonna lie. Those are not the best, you know, I don't like the wood curving a little bit like that, but at the end of the world. I'm gonna put it on low heat, and I'm gonna try to push the heat shrink against the beam like that when it's heating, to make sure to don't have too much of the connectors nothing's broken. Low heat. So as you can see, that's pretty good. That's not perfect, but that's pretty good. No. Back wire. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope you have a great day. That was the Airsoft Tech, and I'll catch you in the next one.